Facebook joining us shortly. IG, countdown. Connections here. Got on my A2BM shirt tonight. You know, Devin's representing the NFL. I feel good about it.
At least they won't lose. Both our teams aren't that good. They won't lose next week.
I was about to say we got a week off. I mean, your team, y'all have a win?
Now we gotta listen.
Yeah,
they beat the Browns. So now we gotta listen to them pointing fingers for next week.
The rest of the year, honestly.
Well, next week anyway. No, I don't think so. Right? They keep losing. They ain't gonna make it all. Yeah, he ain't gonna make it all.
Bill Belichick to Philly, that is not gonna work. He bring back to Boston.
He ain't gonna make it all year. I don't think so. Celebration is if they don't do better. And his answers don't make sense.
Who?
Sirianni.
I mean, we knew that from his first interview. He played hard. He played fast.
What did he say? Well, this is not college football. It's a long season. Dude, you said that all year last year. Why you lose the game? And then
it ain't that long a season, but you know.
Well, you thought you were wrong from last year.
We're just like letting our grievances out on air before we start this show.
Right,
hello,
man.
everybody.
Welcome.
Welcome to Above Average Black Man. We will be getting started shortly. I think we're ready. We're live on everything. It's 7:30.
Pure Henry is that? So Pure Henry.
No, that's for your sister.
Yeah, you wouldn't see that.
All right, let's get started.
Well, welcome to another episode of Above Average Black Men. Yours truly, Chris Bender Sr.
Chris Jr., as always, here to empower, inspire, and uplift the community.
Devin Pender here to say like, follow, subscribe, share, comment, interact with us, message us, DM us. We want to hear from you guys.
Yes, we definitely do. We need the interaction. We love it during the show. Keep it coming when we're not doing the show, you know. I know this gets shared a lot. We can see that. Feel free to comment, you know. Share your thoughts.
I'll rerun. I gotta get us one app for this weekend, by the way.
No, but yes, it has been busy. We have been out here. We've been out at it. Yeah. I would say on the road, tripping. But I mean, it ties into our show. You know, I think at the end of our kind of vacation, we wanted to, of course, share.
Well, we missed a golden opportunity, man. We could have been broadcast from the Cayman Islands.
All right. Who wanted to do that? Who wanted to do that?
I was like, nah, that's all right. I was like, come on, man. We could have been broadcasting. Who else has a podcast from the Cayman Islands? Man?
I wanted to vacation and trip. That was the point of going.
And I wasn't going to kill your vacation.
It would. I need every bit of that time that I can get. I need every bit of that.
Man, we could have been out there with the pool in the background, man. We could, and then, maybe we got a rooster, a little cockatoo.
No, see, that's exactly why. It would have been a distraction. We'd have been looking at everything else, and we would have did the show, and then it would have been like, man, I wish I could have gotten a pool. I wish I could have gotten
ours, man. We just point out. People could have saw how we living our best lives, man.
Listen, we can talk about it. We'll share pictures and videos later.
Man,
I know.
Look at them dudes, man.
He's trying to stunt and brag on.
No, I'm just trying to say that. Hence above average black men. So we took vacation was above average,
and we needed the vacation. And I'm glad we took the time off.
Like I said, gotta fight the good fight, man. I wasn't gonna kill you.
Nah. Like I said, I want all the time I can get.
It was equivalent of what? One Ted Lasso.
That's
one Black Matter,
and I needed that Dark Matter. Yes,
I needed Dark Matter. That's his favorite show. He's been watching
Dark Matter. Ted Lasso is a great show.
No, I gotta get. See, no, you gotta get caught up. The problem is when you start watching, you missing pieces.
Yes.
You tell it. Where did that come from?
And especially when they reference that hour back.
You just discovered binge watching.
When they reference stuff. That's not been watched. I just like experiment. But when he reference stuff, now I know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But
let's not get too far off track, guys. I know it's people that have jumped in and kind of, you're like, what's going on? But today, our show,
for all you black people watching,
what we wanted to talk about is the idea of just traveling and how important it is for anyone just to get out, experience life, and get outside of your comfort zone of your homes, and why is it so important?
Yeah, I'll turn into a question. It's a two-part question. Is it important? And really 3 parts. Is it important? Do you think it opens up your mind to other possibilities, and broaden your horizons?
Yeah. I mean, I think this again why my mindset is it's important to travel and get outside of your neighborhood or even just kind of separating from life and kind of leaving things behind for a second. It's like life, especially when you start to get up there in age, it seems to go by fast. I'm saying this for
Now you're
myself.
getting up there in age.
I do.
You're not
Yeah,
even, what?
I'm almost 40.
Yo,
I'm almost 40.
Counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
And life.
No,
your age.
It counts in
It
nothing
counts in
else.
your age. It
It
definitely
counts in
does.
nothing else.
It definitely does.
Horseshoes and hand
Listen,
grenades.
It definitely does count in age.
It does not.
Trust. They out here around it. When I'm out here and I have a conversation, I tell somebody like, oh,
Let me tell you.
30, 37, 38. Oh, you almost 40. They round up for me. So it's like, yeah, I do that too. But the time is going fast.
Young people have no concept of time, man. That's why most of y'all late everywhere y'all go. And then you get old and you worry about stuff. Yeah, I mean, you got to kind of find a mixture, man.
You sound like a bitter old man. Like I was saying, time is
I'm
flying by fast.
I'm living my best life. I'm nowhere near
time is flying. Like it does, especially when you work and it just seems like every day is the work. I think it is time to like enjoy them breaks and
we get the violin out.
Opportunities that you had to travel. Like, no, why is he acting like this? Like he enjoys taking trips and traveling.
I do, but you're talking about how it's like
it's important to take a break.
Like,
I didn't say it's running
like
out.
Something like
I said time is running fast.
Like something like turn an hourglass over. You watching this thing?
Time is going by fast.
Oh, I enjoy trip, and I learned
it's going by fast.
I've learned, in this stage, in the fourth quarter of my life, I've learned to enjoy vacation. I used to go on vacation, but I was always doing something. I was busy. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I worked, so I never got, the full experience. And I've been blessed. Your mom and I were talking this the other day. We've been blessed to do a lot of travel, do different things, experience a lot of different things, especially later on in life. But like this was the first vacation I didn't want to come home. I was like, can we squeeze another night out here? Like, we got the house for another night. This day, she's like, oh, we got to get back. But I think for me, it's not about time. I mean, I do the one part you said I do agree with. Time is moving. You should do things to enjoy yourself. But it's also about self-care. I think I'm learning now as older, vacation is also about being in the moment and enjoying the moment. Like, granted, we didn't get the weather the whole time that we like, but just being family, to me, just hanging out as a family, doing things, laughing, joking, man. Some of the things we did, it was fun. It was cool. It was, no work, like you said, and it was a different environment. But it opens for me. I can't speak for everybody. It does open your mind up to other possibilities. Like, man, there's a whole world out there. Like something as simple, because I've been talking about this, cracking up, driving left side of the road. When you see it on TV, you don't think that much about it. But you over there, that's like a whole other culture.
Yes.
That whole left side of the road thing. And, you go to get the car, what side you want the steering wheel on? I'm not used to being that question.
You should have went the full route and got the
Nah, I would have crashed. I would have crashed. He said the guy who was sitting in the back seat, I said, Debbie, you want to drive? He said, no, that's all right.
But exquisite.
No, that's all right. Oh, you want to drive? Yeah. Nah, so I do it. And I think, I think people, we limit ourselves. And I'm not saying this to be facetious or to talk, like there's some people who go to Atlantic City every summer. I mean, that's the vacation every year. You miss the whole world. And I'm not saying you got to go overseas because there's a lot of good places in the United States. But I do think, for me, it started early because my mom had us reading books about different places. So it kind of created curiosity, So for me, it's not, now it's checking all boxes. It's doing things I always want to do. I couldn't do it early because first, we want to make enough money. Then you get a family, your kids, you got all kinds of stuff you got to do. But now I can. Mm-hmm. We travel, man, and we experiencing things, man. Your mom had never been first class, so we traveled first class this whole trip.
That's,
I'm
not at that level yet.
I've never done that.
I got it.
I want to tell y'all.
Once passed on to me by a colleague.
I walk past first class a lot.
It's nothing like it. And if you really look at the difference, it's not a significant difference. It is a difference. But if you look at it versus it's comfortable, you got more room. Come on, man. They bring you a hot towel. They bring you a hot towel, man. Come on. And they braid on your hand and foot. You get, in the back, I'm getting peanuts. And the same cookies that everybody gets.
I got a soda.
Well, you got a soda. With first class, you get what you want. Soon you sit down, how can I help you? You had enough. Come on, man. I was eating, baked chicken, man. With the crusted crust. It was like, hey,
He bragged a little bit.
Right.
No, I'm not.
I was in the back of the car.
See, and this is what happens with some people.
But I've been back there. But I'm not knocking it. I've been back there. But what I'm saying is, that's, to me, vacation is about not hawking the future, but it's about experiencing things that you don't get a chance to experience. Like we took the Rome tour.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done it. I've done thousands,
Which was crazy.
I've done a bunch of wine tours. Your mom was talking about it. We did the tequila when I was in Mexico, and we're not drinkers, but it was cool. One, just to learn the different things about it, but two, the history lesson of the island. The stuff he was talking about the island, and we did it together.
And I think that's probably one of the things that I enjoy of traveling is learning the history of different places, and then just culture-wise, like you kind of get to have your eyes open up to like the world is not very like the bubble that we live in. Like I think so many times people get caught up in like what's going on around them, and then like there's so much of a world view of things that are happening out there that I think sometimes we overlook or take for granted. Like something as simple as like driving on what we say the right side of the road. I think looking at that in a broader sense, it's just thinking about laws that are different in other places, like that we probably take for granted here, and we assume that we can do that anywhere. It's very arrogant of us, but like, yeah, I think that sometimes allows for you to have some type of decorum when you go to different places.
We were laughing because we thought this lady was gonna get locked up because we get on the plane. We going through customs, and she had a baseball cap on. So they said, "Well, could you please, lift your baseball?" And she starts, "You can't see my face." So I said, "I told your mom, let's back up a little bit because this chick about to get arrested over here." It's up high enough to see my face, and I'm looking. Oh, here we go, man. Don't you realize you're not in the United States? I mean, do you understand that?
But people don't, because they'll go somewhere and start talking about their rights, and it's like you don't have the same rights that you do.
It's a big thing when people go to like, especially like Middle Eastern countries and different things like that. They think they can act the same as they do here.
I mean, think about what happened with Brittany Griner and like that whole idea of her bringing weed into Russia. It's just like knowing. I mean, it's like that with the Caymans. Like I've seen where people get arrested in the island for having like a bullet or ammunition. Like some people don't play like that.
Feeding the roosters.
Yeah, that's something illegal to do.
But it's funny because and your mom laughs at me. I'm intrigued by the little stuff that nobody knows.
Yeah.
Like I would have never known. I could have did 10,000 things in that hour and never known that feeding a rooster could get you, could get you years in prison and a $10,000 fine. I'm like, what?
Right.
Yeah. I'm thinking like,
But again, like it's the traveling gives you the again like allows for you to learn how to act in different places in different situations, and I think that to me is one of the biggest things that traveling kind of draws you to is like how to act and when it's appropriate to act a certain way. I think probably even at a younger age, it just again introduces you to the fact that the world is bigger than the bubble or the microcosms in which we kind of place ourselves in, or which we live in.
Plus, I gotta say this, man. And you can call it whatever you want to call it. I like when people treat you a certain way, man.
What do you mean?
Like we check
like better or worse?
Yeah, better, man. I think
here.
I think here is interesting in the United States how the customer service is totally different.
Yeah,
is totally different. And because they will kind of shun you or treat you bad, just but every island I've been to, they always treated you with the highest amount of respect. Now I'm not saying they exactly love you, but every my experience is always customer service has always been good.
I mean, but I've had experiences in other countries where, I would say the same type of either racism or just prejudice.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, I know it's out there, but I mean, when I go the average, like, you check in, they grabbing your bags and stuff, plus I tip, but they get in your bag and different things, man. Is sir, like we were laughing because I told your mom, first thing we thought about was you, because we go and so your mom go through, he says, "Hey, good morning, mom." I go through, he says, "Good morning, King." We start laughing. I said, see that? She recognizes, but it is, they do treat you a little different.
In some places, yes, but
I said my experience.
Yeah,
that's why I said.
That's why I was like, but I think for me, like I know that being black matters when you go to other places.
Yeah, man. Yeah, of course.
So I think like something that I've kind of learned from my experience in traveling is, it's like everywhere you go, you're going to encounter and experience some type of racism or prejudice
But I
don't exclude that from
not that you dismiss that, but I'm talking about just customer service because they do, and as a black,
I got to do customer service,
and as a black man, I'm talking about black people. I'm not talking about how white people. I'm talking about black and my experiences, and they do try to fill you out. They wait to see. They do kind of see what kind of person you are. But my experience has been, once they realize that you're okay, that is different. Now, I'm not saying don't exist. I'm saying when I go to like St. Thomas, when we went to St. Thomas, or we went to San Juan, I wasn't dealing with Caucasians. I was dealing with,
Bro, I'm talking about Mexican. When I went to Mexico, it was like, again, I think everybody has their own experiences when they travel.
They do, because when we went to Mexico, it was cool.
Yeah, but I do still feel like there's some stigmas that kind of follow, when you travel.
I would agree with that. And that's what I said. Sometimes I think they wait and see.
Yeah.
Some people wait and see. Some to see how you are. But I mean, for me, all my experience has been great. And I know it's out there. Like even on cruise ships. That's the thing I'm always amazed about when you're on a cruise ship and I'm sure there's some racist people on there, but pretty much everybody you encounter.
And that's
because
it's the idea that like that racism only exists in the United States.
Oh no,
but I think there are some people who believe that, and you hear a lot of times where people are like, oh, "I'm going to move to this country. I'm going to move here. I'm going to go there," and it's like you're running from what you think is a problem that exists in other places.
But because a lot of those people is like, man, I like to talk to people. So like on the cruise ship, when I'm talking to people, I'm talking to a dude from New Zealand. His what he's learned about his perspective has been news and social media.
Yes.
So like his first exposure to TV when I was talking to somebody, they were laughing, was a Democratic convention. So he sees the music and he's like, "Yo, that's not politics."
It's a party.
And he's never seen the Republican side. All she did was talk about this dude. All she did was talk about this fellow named. And I was like, "No, let me explain it to you." So, but you got to remember that shapes a lot of people. That shapes a lot of people, and we can be our own worst enemies in the images that we put out there.
Yes.
So I'm not justifying. So I do agree with you, but I say all my experiences, I mean, good, and I enjoy myself when I go on vacation. I'm learning. Younger, I didn't appreciate it. Now, I think it's cool, man. It broadens your horizon. You see different, like first class. I was just saying, walking past first class, I'm not gonna do it, but I did it, and now I'm kind of hooked on it.
Yeah, I mean, what's funny is like even thinking about what you said about traveling, probably when you're younger and not necessarily appreciate it as much, or really just understanding or grasping again that everybody's not doing this, but when you get older and you start to kind of have certain conversations with your friends, I think
if I could go back,
realize that
if I could go back,
great opportunities.
That dark matter. If I can go back in time, would create some different things. I would travel more when I was young. I wouldn't be working on vacation. I would vacation, and I would be more in tune into vacation, not thinking about other things. But I would.
You want to know another thing about traveling too? I feel like people, it's this thought that you have to go overseas or you have to take this big extravagant trip. When I do think I enjoyed when I was taking trips to go the mountains or camping and just having a different experience.
I said traveling within.
I said that you can travel. There's a lot of stuff that people don't go into. So I agree with you. But when I mean travel, I mean don't be in Pennsylvania your whole life. Try something different. Don't be the guy that goes to get a shore house year after year after year after year after year. You don't go anywhere else but Atlantic City or Ocean City. Do something different. There's a whole world out there. Go to a beach in a different place.
Yeah. Go to the cabins.
Go to California. I mean, there's different. Like me, I would love to see the Grand Canyon.
But there are people that, don't have the means to do all that.
I'm not knocking it. No, I'm not knocking it. But there's see, I kind of disagree with that because if you can rent a shore house for a whole summer, you got the means to travel somewhere.
We're not talking about those people. We're talking
about that only go to the shore for a day.
Well, I'm not talking about those people because I'm not talking about people in that category. I'm talking about people who can and they just choose not to. It's a choice. I'm not saying because of economics. Because economics, as I said earlier, was a factor for us early. But I'm saying people who just choose not to. And there's nothing wrong with it, but it does. I think when I meet people and you get into conversations about vision and different things, they've seen some things. You know what I mean? They think outside the box. They think outside of their community.
They understand the world is bigger than where they are.
I think And I honestly believe you make better choices, because you realize it's not just your neighborhood. You know what I mean? You realize like there's some people, I'm getting in trouble for saying this, who won't leave a neighborhood because that's their world. So everything they do is shaped and defined by that community.
The better choices thing. I feel like maybe upbringing.
I said it help you. Now you can overcome your upbringing, but I'm saying, but it's harder to overcome it if you stuck in the same environment.
I'm just saying, it's
if you stuck in the same
some spoiled bratty kids out here who've been all over the world and make terrible decisions.
No, but they still stuck in the same environment. You listen to what I'm telling you. You got to get outside. If you stuck in an environment that allows you to be bratty, nobody challenges you, want to stay like that. If you stuck in the hood, you want to stay like that. You have to, and I get it, everybody. That's why I said some. For most people, it does. Most people who get to see different things. Like when I went away to college, that was huge for me. I mean, my mom, I have been to Florida. I mean, I've been to Canada. I have been to California. But to be out of state on my own, it was different to meet different types of people. It kind of reshaped how I thought. And I'm not saying that's everybody. For a lot of people, it does. There's a lot of people who go to a college and never come back home. So it does for a lot of people. There's exceptions to every rule, but for a lot of people, it does allow them to see things differently. It allows them to think outside the box. Like I was talking to somebody, we were laughing because we were saying how, like when I went to school in Rochester, I would come home and play ball, and I go back, and I literally had to change the way I played. Because where I played, that grew up in the hood, it was more physical, it was faster. Why you weren't playing like that? So, what I mean? It's different. You got to play differently. So for some people, and some people never adjust. But I do think there's an opportunity. Like that's why we try to expose you to different things. We don't want y'all growing up thinking, man, this is as good as it gets.
Yeah.
And if people choose not to, again, that's up to them. But I do think you limit yourself when you make a conscious decision not to see something different at least once. And with the exception of what Devin said, for those who may not be in an economic arena to be able to do that.
Yeah. And I feel like probably there's people who are in probably that economic realm of where they can't necessarily, or they feel like they can't take a trip. I think it's important. Yeah, but I do think it's important there's things that you could probably do within your means, maybe.
But you can get in the car and drive and watch.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you can get the train and watch
these gas prices.
You can now. We'll do that because gas is not going to stay down. But
take a train.
I pay $2.93 on that.
Take a train.
So
$2.93 where?
Gas is crippled out. Pay $2 right over there on.
I'm not advertising.
But 40 cars will pull up. Don't do that. It's going to go up now, but I'm just saying I paid. So but gas factors in. But I think every generation owes it to the generation that they're responsible for bringing up to expose them to different things, and travel is the way to do it. Mm-hmm. I think when you travel, like people always ask me, why are you so close to your kids? Because we do stuff together. Mm-hmm. And part of it we went to Disney a couple years ago. We all got to, when you do things together, man, you can build a bond. You get to know each other. And it's not about somebody being perfect, and it's not about agreeing on everything. But you do, and travel, I think, does that. It puts you in a place, where you learn about your different things and you learn about yourself.
Yeah, I mean, the learning is probably the most important part to me. It certainly is fun. I enjoy traveling and being on the road and just kind of being in a different place, soaking up the sun, enjoying the weather. But like you said, it's definitely, for me, I do like to, when we go to these places, have conversations with locals and, see what their experience is like living there. Sometimes, I even like to think, like, what's your view of us, like, as
but that's what made
people within the States?
But that's what made the tour, that's what made the tour of Rum Distillery better. Because talking to the guy, when he was giving us the history and his experiences about living there and living stuff, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that was pretty
And
cool.
like
and it seeped down because the two older ladies from New York, Albany, they were like talking, and then we were laughing. I was cracking up because I can say this now. The girl kept trying to get Devin's attention. He ain't paying no mind.
Okay.
We were cracking up. They were dancing all behind you. Oh, I thought they were gonna bump into you.
They were having a good time.
They were doing the Jamaican thing. And I'm looking, and I'm like, how is he not even seeing this?
What is he gonna do? 301?
Yeah. If I was seeing what I was,
Not me, baby.
I
didn't see a thing.
If I was with my parents like years ago, I mean, yeah, I would have been like, hey, how y'all doing?
And not me.
Yeah, right. Yes, you would have. Yes, you would have. I said, dude, got a mind like a steel trap. He ain't turn around.
That was not what his vacation was about.
I was cracking up.
Enjoy time with our family.
But they were purposely trying to get his attention. I'm back there. I'm like, come on, dude.
Enjoy that run.
He just burst their whole bubble. He just deflated them. They were like, psh.
They have a fresh cut, you know.
Was it feeling?
Because first the one girl got up, and then she was, and then the other girl. I said, dude, he ain't even turn around. I said, yo, and then after that, they just gave up. They just sat down. They was like, it's over now. Give me some more rum.
Excuse me, family. I'm about to party. And then just leave the table and just go, what did y'all want him to do? Like, and then y'all would have been talking. Yeah. And you know what? He played it smart. Because if he would have did anything, y'all would have been right in there.
No matter what he did.
Oh, what's her name?
No, I was first of all, no, I wasn't gonna let him get in the car with them.
See, look at him.
The point is you get the contact. The point is you get the contact information. They were talking about what it was gonna be. You know, Chris and Andrew were looking to go somewhere. Y'all could have let him there.
It's crazy how he had a plan.
Yeah, nice.
That was 4 weeks ago.
You could have easily.
I didn't say that. I just. Okay.
No, but like vacation, vacation and tripping. That's also a good part of it too. You know, being able to meet different people, like we were saying. Because we met people who were from the island that weren't from the island, who kind of like immigrated there, or
God came to fix the air conditioning.
Yes, and you find out so much. Like I didn't know our dollar is less. Our dollar is less than the Cayman. I think me being kind of arrogant, you know, I assumed like our dollar is going to be higher than the Cayman dollar. And it was like $1 for us is 83 cents to them.
Well, I learned when I went to get gas that they don't keep American money.
How expensive everything is there.
But they don't keep American money at the gas station.
That's
it. Give me changing. So your mom's like, what am I gonna do with that?
Souvenir.
Yeah, souvenir. Yes.
Yeah. I got in the car. I thought about it.
But no, but still, it's just like little things like that you kind of learn getting outside the country. Is again, I just think things that I assume.
Man, that whole drive
I assume as being an American that, you know.
And they had to be the politest drivers I've ever seen in my entire life.
Cayman kind is a thing. Like everybody was so nice and polite.
And the yield sign says give way.
Give way. We went to the store and it was expensive. Everything in the store is expensive. But we were going there to buy steaks for dinner. Yeah. And people were in the store were like, you sure you want to come back tomorrow? It's 20% off. They're telling me not to buy the stuff. Like that would never happen here. They was like, maybe you should check over there. It's just a little bit of cheaper stuff over there.
Like when I was getting the donuts, I was trying to find a donut. They said, you don't want that one.
Yes, they're like,
you want the ones in the back. She said the fresh ones in the back. They try to get rid of the stale ones first.
That's crazy.
Everybody was like, yeah, they won't care.
Right, they wouldn't care.
Yeah, you don't want that. This is the fresh ones. I never thought about that. I said, I wonder how many people do that. Put the fresh ones in the back and put the stale ones in the front because they sell them first. Like even the Dunkin' Donuts, they pick up the ones in the front first.
I think to me, like one thing that I really appreciate traveling outside of just Philadelphia, and I'm not just saying like, you know, just outside the country, but even when you go to other cities, I mean, I found an appreciation for just how nice people can actually be sometimes.
Well, to me, the thing about Cayman that really cracked me up was, you know, people just would stop and let you go. Driving here, it ain't happening. Man.
Beeping the horn, like people driving at a slower pace.
Here they speed up. Like, yeah, people just chilling, man. I was like, yo.
So I think, it's just like, again, it's a nice change of pace, you know, to be able to break away from this.
And then the car I was driving
should be a little bit slower.
The car I was driving, it's a Japanese car. You can only get in the Cayman Islands or in Japan.
Didn't know that.
That's why I say the history is amazing.
I wonder what's the relationship there between Japan and the Cayman Islands, where that part would only be between those two.
Because the way it was explained to me was because and I don't want to make this a political thing, but because we have X amount of SUVs already in this country, they don't want the competition. So the tariff to get that car over here is they would have to raise the price of the car significantly. Because you've seen it, that was standard when we were driving.
But again, think about that. If we didn't travel or like get outside of what we know, we would never see or know any of these things.
That's what I said. And see, to me, that's one of the best things about traveling is when you learn different things. When you learn about where you are, you learn about the culture. I like where we stayed at because I like seeing, I like driving. Even I like going through the hour. Everywhere I've been, like we used to take public transportation. We couldn't take it then, but because we rented a car,
they said we could, and we figured out how to take that by talking to the locals.
From where we were at,
it's crazy. But first off, there's no schedule for the bus. It just comes and goes, and you wave it down.
Like you just wave it down.
Well, you have
we were like in the jungle, though.
Some of the buses have music.
But we were on the beach though, so
we probably had to walk to the main road, but it was like they have buses that we've seen.
I saw buses and I saw the bus stops.
Yeah,
because I was telling your mom.
They don't stop at stops.
So the bus you said it was a bus playing music. We were walking. Remember we were walking? Yeah. But it just the culture is different, man. People were laid back, man. When they wait on you or when they talk to you, people on the street was like patient. It was kind. Like it was a couple times we were blocking up the sidewalk, man. And I was like, sitting dudes like, no, it's cool. They just kind of scoot around. It was like, and here it's like, yo, can y'all move over?
Can you move? Yeah. Get out the way.
even when the rain. When you were in the jewelry store, dude was polite, man. He wasn't like, I ain't giving y'all nothing. We say one body. He said, you guys okay? You want some water? He was still being, most people like, yo, I ain't giving y'all nothing. Y'all ain't but you off the steps. You body the door.
He actually did offer us some water. Like, are you guys comfortable out here? But again, like I think little things like that make you kind of appreciate. People in general, to me, like, it's just those cultural differences is like good to break away and just see like there's still kindness out there in the world. Well, it's not as crazy or hectic all the time everywhere, especially when you see the news here and you get caught up in that. Like,
but there's also three things for me that one,
it's not all chaos.
One, for as crazy as our country is, it makes you appreciate.
Yeah,
yes. Devin and the internet and infrastructure, because that was really killing him.
Yeah,
I feel like I was an AT&T commercial.
Little traffic lights.
No. I think we saw like 3 traffic lights the whole time I was down there. And 2 of them was over there when I stayed when we stayed at the Marriott.
The Marriott.
Yeah, the Marriott. The restaurant across the street, Peppers. Did you go there?
No, we didn't go, but I saw it.
But it was funny because that's the best restaurant. Because I asked the lady when I was getting the car. I said, well, where's a good place to eat? Oh, the Peppers right across from you. Staying there. That's the best place on the island. It was a sports bar, man.
I know.
We had better food when we went to it.
Grand Old House.
Yeah, the Grand Old House. I thought that was cool. Especially how it was the individual rooms, the small rooms, and everything. And the steak was like exquisite. It was like melting in your mouth.
You got over that it was a plantation.
Yeah, no, y'all sucker me. Y'all know I was going to places with plantation on it, man. It was too late. What I'm gonna do?
You had a great meal. Great meal.
I'm sure the ancestors would have been proud.
Look at my. Then I got the king. And the white king up there sitting there. Yeah, the crowd just sitting there staring at everybody while they eat.
And he would be sick if he were in there. And I was happy. I was happy.
That, and it does. It makes you appreciate this. We take stuff for granted.
Yes.
And I was talking to I was talking to Miss Annette, and we were having the same conversation that in America we get so used to moving at this rapid pace, and even we don't take relationships, because we were talking about Dana. We don't even take relationships. We don't appreciate the relationships because we keep thinking we got tomorrow. We got next week, and everything. I got to get this done. Sometimes we chasing material things. There's different things that we get distracted by, but everybody was just laid back there, man. It was like, yo, I thought I was in Bob Marleyville. Everybody was like, yo, man. It was just so cool.
Yeah. But that's what I was saying earlier about the idea of like kind of time moves fast because we just get caught up in everything else. And like sometimes to me, I do need that breaker to travel, to kind of slow down and take a step back. I wish I could be better at just being able to do that while I'm home and not feeling like I need to take a trip all the time.
But you can't. You just got to be purposeful about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, because I'm at the stage now where, man, if I can't, if it's out of my control, it's out of my control. You know, I'm not gonna sweat it, pray about it, or even at work. You know, I find myself sweating stuff that nobody sweating.
Yeah, but I mean, I still like
nobody cares.
I'm taking a trip.
Yeah, and you should, because you need to refresh. That's why I said if I could go back, you know, I would travel more. You know, even with us, even family wise, I would have planned different trips. You know, and things are different now because now, hey, you can lay stuff away now, start paying a year in advance, all kind of stuff like that, man. But I would, you know, and
you go with that buddy,
and you like, you know, well, so like even it was cool, and then one part of the reason was kind of selfish because I like when people look at you and wonder what you're doing there. You know, because like we were getting a plane one thing,
and don't just open up our mind and open up their mind.
And people scurry to get in front of us, you know, and they said so you know, I'm like, excuse me, you know, so they you know, and you can see, look, oh, he ain't gonna go nowhere. And then you get up and say, oh, go ahead, right this way, you know. It's okay, you know, like, yo. And then they get on, they kind of look at you because you're sitting right there. Like in one of them, we were in the first seat, we were in row one. You know, never been in row one in my life. That was the first time. But even for me, and I say this,
it was Frontier though.
I even posted something for me, and this is enough, and we'll make this trip a little better because, you know, when you're young, when you get married, when I was young, we didn't have a lot of money. We got married. You make a lot of promises. You know, you sell dreams. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. And to be able to do that for your mom now, you know, and see her face, you know, when you were to see you guys, and it's funny because she looked at me and she was crying. She said, you know, I know I'm loved.
So you're telling me I shouldn't take trips because I'm like,
no, I didn't say don't take. I'm saying take them.
No, because I'm like, man, I'm doing a lot right now. The bar is hot. Where am I gonna go next?
No, but that's okay. But see, you create memories too. And that's the part, you know, that's the good thing about it. You're creating memories, and it's not about go where you want to go. It could be if you want to go, see the Grand Canyon. You said it yourself. You don't have to go overseas. If you want to go to Amsterdam, is where you want to go.
Nah, yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying,
I do enjoy taking.
Yeah.
Like, actually, probably one of the places that I've enjoyed the most that I went to is in the States, like Chicago. I love Chicago. And I love taking the tour, being on the river, and like hearing about the architecture and like the history. And
they got rich jazz there. They got one of the best jazz festivals in the world there.
Tennessee, that's another place that I enjoyed, like Nashville, Tennessee.
Vegas.
When I was in
Vegas,
when I was in Tennessee in the cabin in the mountains, man, it was another great experience, man.
But I think again, I enjoy really traveling there too, because I will say for some of those places, younger me, there was a stigma or like an idea that I had about those places, where it's like I can't go to Tennessee. I don't like country. Like I can't be down there.
Well, how I got sold on Tennessee was when I was working in downtown. A guy came in and
it was a wedding for me,
and he said, I'm going on vacation next week. I said, yo, he said, where you going? He says, I'm going to Tennessee. I'm like, yo, what black person go to Tennessee for vacation?
Exactly.
He said, man, you just don't know. I said, well, you got to show me. So he came in the next day and he started showing me these cabins. You know,
Darky baby.
And these cabins were up there, and they weren't really. We shouldn't even call them cabins because we stayed in one. It slept 20 to 1. We stayed in. Every room had a king size bed.
That's a mansion.
And its own.
20 to 1.
I was just thinking
had a king size bed, and it had its own bathroom. You know, every room had a view. We had an indoor swimming pool.
You really live in luxury.
We had an indoor movie theater. I'm just saying. So it wasn't, but the experience that is something else, man. You know, because I getting up in the morning, you see the sun coming out the mountains. It's amazing.
Yeah,
you know, that's the stuff. And to me, like when I'm on the cruise and you see the sun come up out of the water or the sun set in the water, that's something you don't forget. That's something. It was one time, bro.
But no time we've been on the boat, I've gotten seasick.
Your mom got sick.
Get over it.
Your mom got sick the first time we went. Yeah, because that's a little boat. But when you go on a huge boat,
I've been on a cruise.
Yeah, but you got to get on a certain. The first cruise we went, one y'all gave us.
That was like
the first time.
Carnival was so plain.
The first time we went was the time y'all gave it to us, and we thought it was big. It was a smaller boat. We thought it was big too. Till we pulled in a dock, and you see them boats. Like 3 times. Yeah, like 3 times the size. Yeah.
Let us know that we could have did better on it.
No, it was great.
I was joking.
But what I'm saying is, you know, it's an experience though. It's an experience, man, because you see things like I've never been in total darkness before. When you go out, you look out a deck at night and you can't see anything. If there's no moon in the sky, it's pitch black. You like that? You know?
I mean, I kind of.
It's not. No, I didn't walk too close to the railing. When I just
it kind of lets me. It reminds me though. It lets me know how significant we are.
Insignificant. Yeah, because it's
insignificant.
Yes. When you look out there and you see. Even you go out there in the morning, man, you see all water.
You are spent.
You don't see anything. And then the most amazing thing that you do see is ship in the far off. and you think it's this teeny ship, and then as you get close, it's huge. It's like, it puts things in perspective.
Yes.
It's just, so to me that's all amazing to me to see that we live in this, that we really just like,
I mean,
we're like a grain of sand on the beach compared to the universe.
I really feel like that in nature, period. That's why I enjoy going to maybe a cabin and being out in the woods. Or
Mom did, like, she don't want to go back
like
to
the Grand Canyon, like definitely.
Because we read buggies. We drove through like the national park.
Why not?
To go in the gap, and she ain't particularly like it.
I think, like, again, it just kind of reminds you that there's so much more out here other than the world that we live in and see in a day to day.
And this goes back to my reasons. I think traveling does it. It opens up your mind, man. You see things. I think if you live one place your whole, there's nothing wrong with it. But if you never leave a city, you kind of miss the possibilities in the rest of the world. Yeah. There's so many things you don't get exposed to.
I think one thing you said earlier that kind of, it does give you an appreciation, sometimes for what you have or what's out there that you can try to go get.
Yeah.
And I think that is, to me, like the most important thing that I feel like I've gotten out of traveling is just, like, again, an appreciation for what I had, and then just seeing and being introduced to different things where it's like, man, I want to do that again, or I would like to incorporate that in my life, or it just kind of changes how you think. I think that's the biggest thing. Traveling, of course, is fun. Like, yeah, you create these lifetime memories, but it does just kind of, I think, just from how you approach the world, it really impacts how you move.
But even when we went to Boston, that was cool.
Boston, yeah.
I learned things about Boston. Now, I would go back there. I'm trying to convince your mom because it was not like I thought it was.
And that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say.
Then when I was on a cruise, it was we kind of met a couple on the cruise, and they were from Boston. And it was funny, same thing Chris said, there's racism everywhere. Boston is no better, no worse than anywhere else, or it's the same place, depends on where you go. But as a whole, it's a pretty nice city, man. Like, we were shocked. We went down by Fenway Park, and they were playing rap music outside the park.
What's funny is, like, I had a conversation when we first went to Boston, and I was telling
Fenway, was Boston.
Yeah, it was Fenway. When we first went to Boston, and I was telling people about that. Yeah. Everybody immediately was like, "Oh, that's extremely racist." Like, "Oh, it's racist." And, like, my mom was like that before I went there.
It was, but then it kind of defies common sense, because when you think about it, some of the biggest sports stars are black
or brown. Like,
Kevin Garnett go off the streets there and be all right.
Joe Russell, Joe Russell, yeah.
But then I think also the point that I made too is, like, you don't think that at home where we are that there's racism there too?
Yeah, but it's easier to see. It's easier to see the speck in someone else's eye.
I know,
and it's easy, and it also eliminates something. I don't have to try something new if I can condemn it.
Yeah,
if I can just come out the chute and say, I don't like it, it's easier for me to stay where I'm at. Just like when I deal with kids, man, there's kids who don't leave Camden, and it's sad. They think they don't come to Philadelphia, or when I was doing some work in Chester, and people in Chester don't leave Chester. You limit yourself to so many things, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm even thinking about people that I've met from overseas, and when they get here, how their mind, their perspective has changed on, what they've thought of the United States. Like, I know in some cases, like, people who they think that, we all rich, like that we all we out here getting it, unlimited money, unlimited food. And then they come here and they experience to see the life, and they understand just kind of the racism, the classism, like the sexism, all the different isms that are here that don't necessarily get preached about when you are looking at this place from the outside.
Well, I think
the propaganda, of course, like, that don't help. We probably always talking about how great this country is.
But we live in the time of sound bites.
Yeah,
and that's the one thing people have gotten from America. We sound bites and snippets is we live in that, and that's how we become educated now. Like I said, the guy his first exposure to political party, he watched the Democratic Convention. That's the first Democratic convention you've ever seen where they had the music on. So he thought that no, that's not it, but that's what he was exposed to. And I guess I would be the same way if I went to London or somewhere and I turned the TV on. That's the first thing you see, unless you know somebody. I mean, just like in the Cayman Islands, I'm pretty sure. Like I was laughing. I don't think he was shocked, but the average guy was a little shocked when he realized he was black. Because what Chris said, because there's stereotypes. They just assume people who come there on vacation, there's a certain skin color. Like even when the guys, the first time when they came to clean the pool, when he first came around, he didn't look up anything. And then when I went out there, he looked up. He like smiled big as day. I said, we were chilling then, like, yeah, man, So I think, and that's pretty cool. But so to your point though, because the things they see on TV, they don't expect us. Or your mom and I joke about it all the time. She said, we just add another chapter to Cosby's because people think we the Cosby's because of what we do. That's because what they see on TV is not us. They see the negative. Black shooting blacks, black robbing people, man. Talking slang, pants hanging down, all those negative things, and that becomes their reality of who we are.
So I know we got like almost 15 minutes left, and I did want to kind of ask this question of you guys before we get out of here, or at least talk about it. Is like we did mention a reference that there are people who they feel as though they might not be able to travel, whether it's because economics or they just don't. Honestly, this happens for us all the time. We can't do it because that's not black. You can't go here because that isn't.
I hope I never fall into that category.
I'm not saying that's right, but like, what do you say to those people? I know that's not us because clearly we anywhere.
I think you can say you up for it. Now things are made so much easier now because you can lay stuff away. You can, you can book a cruise and take a whole year to pay for it. I didn't know this. Some mouths who travels extensively told me the same thing. Those resorts. Like Wyndham and all that, it's the same thing. You can pay over time.
You don't have to pay till you get there.
But you could also pay over time, man. So there's different ways that you could do it. And to your point, you said it earlier. It's not, you don't always like. I'm traveling a little bit outside the country because we did a lot inside the country, but you don't always have to go, to Jamaica or to somewhere like that. You can go somewhere to Las Vegas, or you can go somewhere, and
take a drive to Virginia Beach.
Flights are cheaper now. So you can save up and take a trip. I ain't say you got to do that. Because when I first got married, I couldn't do all this stuff. So we didn't. We loaded up the car. Remember, we rode to Disney, different things.
That's part of the experience too. It's like being in a car and having moments,
So I
on the way to some of those.
But I think some things you got to be purposeful about. It's like if you buy your son LeBron James every time the sneakers were out, you can go on a trip. Ain't got to wear $200 sneakers all the time.
He better be dunking. Like
no, I'm talking about non-athletes. No, I know.
I'm just saying for me.
Because I think because that exposure is going to last a lot longer than those sneakers.
For sure.
And I think, and to me, while I always like doing stuff for my family because it creates memories. Whether it's the Disney trip we made, or whether it's here, or the other things we've done together, it creates memories, man.
I still remember we drove to Disney.
Yeah, several times.
That was.
So, I mean, Devin, what would you say?
I would say there's always someone that's willing to travel with you in your circle or anyone that you know. And even if they don't have the means as well, typically, I see a lot of people doing this. And if you're going to do this, definitely be on the safer side. But people do solo travels as well, too.
Yes.
You could always go on a limb and go to a DC, which isn't that far away. Or like I said, Virginia.
The group of girls I was talking about, they did, to your point earlier. Remember, that's what I was, when I was talking to Angela, I was saying, I see that more and more when you see younger people traveling in groups now. And there's a lot of it is what you said, because maybe their circle, the opposite sex they're dealing with, don't travel. So they'll get together with a group of their girlfriends and they'll travel.
I think they single and ain't got nobody.
Well, I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting into that. See, that's a broad assumption. I think that's an unfair assumption. I think that all three of them will say we ain't had nobody. Oh, we ain't got nobody. Let's go travel together.
I think maybe not. But I will say
terrible.
I will say, for those who feel like they may not necessarily have it to take trips, you can very much easily drive somewhere like local just to get away, go somewhere you hadn't been before. I know, we just drove to North Carolina. That's an 8-hour drive, but it was cool to be able to just be on the road, see and experience different things. And I drove to Tennessee before. Like, that was a nice little drive. But I think, again, financially, if you ain't got it, then do what you need to. I know somebody at my job that they drove across country, and they slept in their car, and like that was probably one of the best experiences that they felt like they've ever had.
I can't talk your mom into it. I would love, I think we could do that. Get a Winnebago and have multiple drivers, and just hit some
and just drive
California,
across the
that'd be cool.
country.
I don't know why we want California.
I would be down to do that.
That'd be
Like drive
fun.
across the country.
But I think
I
that would
always
be
wanted
so
to see
cool.
like the world's biggest yarn
But I
ball
think-
and all that other stuff like that.
The
I like seeing
biggest
stuff like
yarn ball.
I always wanted to see
Okay.
I was
stuff
thinking
like
about the
that.
Green Book and like maybe taking some of those
the biggest
historic.
yarn ball.
historic
So you want to hit every
Green Book
Ripley,
routes?
believe it or not, we can come across the country. That's what we go.
I want to see the big potato.
Ripley, believe it or not, we got to go see Spud.
But is there like a specific place that you want to go in the future? It could be inside the country or outside the country.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things. For me, I would love to see the Grand Canyon. I think seeing the Grand Canyon is cool, man. I don't know if I would take the hike down and back up because they say that's rough on you. The Grand Canyon, Yellowstone Park.
There's a Grand Canyon in Pennsylvania.
But it's not it's a baby Grand Canyon. I'm talking about the Grand Canyon, man. I would love to see.
I'm just saying for those who would like to see Grand Canyon.
I think Yellowstone Park would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's one place in particular.
Bears.
It's one place in Yogi Bear. There's one place in particular. That's like a picnic basket.
But a kid listen.
But there's one place that I really want to go, and I saw a
I saw
commercial.
the Revenant.
I saw this commercial. It was a late night commercial. It came on. I only seen it one time. They have this train ride that you can ride through Canada, and it's awesome.
I did
It's
see that.
awesome. You see the mountains and the glaciers. It is unbelievable, man. And it's not a regular train. It's what spacious train. I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
I saw you
man,
can lay down.
I'm thinking.
Like,
I told your mom that's gonna be a Kinsey trip, man.
But like I would definitely take a trip like that too, like a train ride.
Yeah, you fly to
across the country.
Canada and then catch the train and just drive, see Canada on the train. I think that would be awesome to see the mountains and everything. I wouldn't mind seeing Alaska. I think Alaska would be pretty cool. You see the glaciers and stuff in Alaska.
Alaskan cruise.
Yeah. I don't know. See,
That's where I draw the line.
Titanic thing
I
always
hate
on my mind.
being cold, so that's all.
Well, you wouldn't be out there.
Yeah, can't do it. Can't do it. And I heard also it's like bright for 24 hours.
There's a
Yeah,
couple.
there's
There's a
can't
couple
do that.
places that I think I wouldn't mind. But like I would definitely like to go to outside the country. I would like to see the Canary Islands. I hear Greece is amazing. Everybody keeps talking about Greece, man.
I want to be big man in Dubai. That's me.
Yeah, I want to go to Dubai, but also, I see the long flights. But I would Hawaii and Egypt. I would love to see the pyramids.
I also want to go to Thailand. I heard the dollar goes farther.
Oh well, I'm gonna tell you where else it goes far at. Cambodia.
So it's
Somebody is a principal in one of my schools. That's all he talks about. You gotta go to Canada, and I'm like, that's never even entered my mind.
But he passport, bro.
What's that?
So like, Dominican.
I would love to go to Africa. Like me, South Africa,
yes.
Ghana,
Egypt.
Nigeria.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Egypt.
How you know you go? Yeah, I don't see you doing it.
What?
No.
Going to Africa?
Yeah, because you like monk, man. You don't want to get dirty. You don't want to do anything. Like, yo,
They party over there. What do you think?
They party, but
There's
you
cities in Africa,
so you just go in there. See, that's another thing. I'm not sleeping in the bush.
See, and that's exactly why you need to go. Because that's not what's happening over there, man.
No, they have trips you can. They have cities, but they have trips you can go.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
But where do you think we gonna be at?
I'm just telling you, I'm not
In
sleeping in the
the
bush.
city.
Only line I want to hear is in the zoo.
Oh man.
I ain't trying to
But
go
also,
lines with
You're gonna
tigers.
be banned.
Somebody say
I also do want to go to Colorado.
You're gonna be
when you hear the
banned.
lines, when you hear the lines, just stay still.
They're not gonna let you come into the country. Mr. Pindar. No.
No, but you can sleep. It depends on where you go. But I'm saying thing about Africa. There's a guy from Kenya who Donnell went, and his story is amazing because he went and he was able to go back and trace the tribe that he was originally from.
And that's what I.
And he said
cool.
you could see the features. Somebody walked up to him and said, "So you from this tribe?" The features and stuff. And that would be cool, man.
And I think that would happen to us if we went there because our
Or
family
you
has
find out you ain't from no tribe.
a very strong.
You ain't from here, dude.
strong nose. Very, very strong. I feel like.
What tribe I'm from? We don't know because they ain't here.
We sending you back. I'm here for dual
The black
citizenship.
people.
Dual citizenship. Yes.
Where's the place that your friend, the mill?
Ghana.
Yeah, because see, I don't know. I keep hearing good things about Ghana.
Yes. That's why when you were talking about these huts, I'm like, no.
I didn't say everything. I said they had. I didn't say that was all they had. I said they had. There's places you can go stay in the bush, but you can stay in the Ritz Carlton too.
Yes.
Yeah, you can stay in the
Very
Ritz
much
Carlton
so.
too. But I'm saying I'm just not the bush guy.
Yeah, it's
But some
definitely.
people go there. I don't sleep in the bush. Yeah, you by yourself.
No, I'll go visit.
I ain't pumping no water. I ain't carrying
I
no
will do
water.
that too. Why not? Give back.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about for you to wash. I ain't talking about a mission trip. I'm talking about you. But that's how you gotta wash. That's how you.
I would do that too.
That's a
do
experience,
what's
you know?
necessary. That's part of the experience, you know. Like that's part of traveling.
I've been poor.
Like
I was poor. I didn't have lions and tigers and bears, but I was poor.
When we was in Mexico and then also parts of Caymans, like they were talking about the storage system and how you can't flush toilet paper.
And notice where we stayed.
I know. That was intentional. But I'm just saying, like, so
don't act like
that was a surprise to me. Like,
well, no, because you remember you don't remember when we used to go to my cousins. They lived out in Bensalem before it was developed, and they had the same thing. They had our house. They had to go out to our house. Yeah. So if you woke up in the middle of the night, you had to go to the bathroom. You had to get dressed and go out to the house.
No, our house.
And she would say how. And
she
said they had to carry a pot of hot water to pour down there to keep the rats.
Stop it.
I'm just telling you.
Stop.
What year was this?
I was allowed. I was a kid. I'm just saying. So
crazy.
So it was what you're talking about. So there's places, who went through that, man. They hadn't even developed.
Yeah. And I mean, I say that to say again, like it makes you appreciate kind of things that we appreciate things we take for granted at home.
And I do, but that is you do, and also, but I do like sitting there and we were sitting there and watching the sun come up, in the back. I mean, go down in the back. That was pretty cool watching the sun go to the ocean, man. That was amazing.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
To imagine people live there every day.
Yeah, and I told your mom like like most nights I slept with the curtains open. It was dark at night because I slept like that because I want to see the sun go out. Right. Yeah. So I slept like that. So I thought that was pretty cool.
And I definitely would love to go back there.
Oh, we go back.
I like waking up to the roosters and
that wasn't bad either. Like the roosters.
See, it's funny because I didn't hear them.
I heard.
I heard them. I seen them.
Yeah.
They was about a pool in the morning.
I saw some lizards.
But the thing about it, and I'm thankful, but we were like isolated. We couldn't hear anything up there. We were.
Yeah, intentionally. We gave y'all the top
dog
suite.
We could barely
top dog suite. Yep.
And your mom was like, we'll go.
Definitely would go back, and definitely encourage everybody to take a trip.
Come on, everybody. So we didn't even get together. We can go invade the Cayman Islands. We just gotta pick a day.
I don't know.
We're gonna go get them, man. USA and the Caymans is what we're gonna call it.
And then we'll be banned.
USA.
Shadow banned. Right.
Nah, man. We're gonna bring a little some of that USA culture. Some of that USA culture with that. Come on, man.
You were trying to get you want an army down there, huh?
Build the base. Get together. Just showing that we all not bad. We cool. We some cool black folks.
Huh? We just coming to take some land.
He's coming to invade.
We coming to be in touch with our roots, man.
Our roots.
Nah, I mean, come on, man.
Yes, Caymans is great.
But it was crazy.
I can't wait to the next trip.
But this is the craziest stat when he said they just got a hospital 50 years ago.
Yeah,
that was amazing. And I didn't realize Jamaica was that close either. So I got a demographic, I got a geographic lesson too. I didn't realize Jamaica was that close. I thought Jamaica was like way far off. It wasn't that far away.
But again,
but he was like, yeah, you go to Jamaica, you had to have a house.
Can you think of for a sec, if we were to get a hospital locally here, just only 50 years ago.
So that means I would know.
So they either had to go to Jamaica or have a child at the house.
That's me. I had to go to Jamaica at the house. So if I got hurt before I turned 13, they couldn't take me to the hospital.
That is wow.
Yeah, I'm thinking to myself that is crazy, man. In 50 years, it's funny because 50 years seems like a long time ago.
No, it don't.
Until you it does.
Not for that.
No, that's what I said. Until you associate it with that fact, then it doesn't. But if somebody can say, well, 50 years ago, wow, that's a long time. But we say a hospital, that's crazy.
I was about to say, how long is the eldest doctor? It
can't be that old unless they put it because they ain't have a hospital.
26. Oh, I'm done. That's it. They only been there 50 years. You go in there with something like, we've never seen this before. We've never seen this.
Marriott. What floor were you on?
A second.
Did you today? Because we were on the 4th floor, and because we had a window by the they give us on the ocean side. Did you see on on the wall. They'd be kind and all kind of stuff. They had it on that floor.
It was like a. It was like an artwork.
Yeah, on the wall, and I saw "Be Kind" like 15 times.
I mean, but that is their motto. Is came in kind.
15 times. Be kind.
And they really live by that.
See, and that's what we got to do, man. That's the kind of thing we should have here.
Well, let's come up with something by next week. United States United. Is this
be safe? No.
Be safe.
No. Be free.
Be safe.
Be free. Be well. There you go. Be well.
United States. Be safe out here. That's
but it was. But I do, like, we got the cruise. We're going to do the cruise next year. I'm going to get out there and see the world, man.
And we encourage all of you, get out there, see the world, see your neighborhood.
And call us up and tell about it, man. I want to hear about some of these. We should have a show.
Give us some places to go.
Yes, legally.
Where have you gone that you enjoyed?
Legally.
Yeah, that we can legally get to.
We don't want in the place with somebody talking about, I can have a bank account over here.
You got to know somebody.
I got a bank account over here. I can stash money over here. Charge taxes.
Encourage people to travel, take trips. If you got kids, take them somewhere. Introduce them to something early and often.
It's funny because when I was younger, I wanted to try to go to every zoo in every city. That was a goal. Y'all didn't figure out how we ended up at the zoo. We ended up at the zoo a lot of times.
I don't remember going
to we were in Atlanta. We did. I don't remember going to
Atlanta. I remember the Coca-Cola factory.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. I remember the Hertz. We went to the zoo.
Trying to like remember.
Well, hers was a trip for when I was working on computer. You want to say that when you got the free chips. You want to say we had them free chips? Now you complain. Yeah.
I do like to think they stole a flavor from me and I put it in a suggestion box, but I don't know.
Well, you put a suggestion box, that's not stuff.
I thought they would have given me like a lifetime supply after I said it.
They couldn't find it.
My name was like
yeah, the name thing ain't gonna work on.
Closing thoughts, guys. Definitely.
Don't be afraid to get out there and experience new things. All it takes is just, like you said, saving up and the effort and taking the leap of faith to want to get out there, and you'll definitely guaranteed experience something different.
Yeah, I feel like we started to see a lot more people trying new or different things, but yeah, I would agree, man. Don't limit yourself, like especially when it comes to these trips. Like, don't just always find yourself going to the beach. Yeah, maybe take a trip out to a cabin or some woods or
what we're gonna do. We're gonna
challenge yourself. We're gonna do something different.
We have an above average black man trip. You know how people do different stuff. We're gonna have an 8 square trip. Eight, yeah, we have above average black man trip, man. We'll pick somewhere we're going there. Hey, we're gonna be at, man. He's like, no, we ain't feeling that.
The Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania. Let's do it. We'll start there.
No. That's come on, man. That's like
it's drivable. We can get there.
But that's not the Grand Canyon.
I'm proud of it.
That's a B. That's a B.
See, the whole purpose
is like an imperfect clone.
The purpose.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yes, and just travel. We were just telling
not for me. That's not why I want to go.
People to travel and get out there, and he's like, not me.
I didn't say that. I just said, no, you're talking about that ain't thinking big. If that's the case, let's get a bus to go to Poconos.
It is. It's just a quick. The
Niagara
we already been there. Poconos.
Niagara Falls.
I've been to Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls is cool. Only thing about that is the falls. I mean, you go there, it's other stuff to do.
What Ken's do?
I hear Toronto is the place in Canada.
I heard great things about Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto. But we need to get a above average black man trip somewhere. Everybody just join us. But yeah, everybody we're gonna tell y'all we can go. We gonna AABM when we all over the place, man.
But no, thank you guys. Hopefully, drop some places that we can go. Drop a place that you've enjoyed and traveled to, and maybe we can. Maybe share some pictures, share some of our followers.
Give us some ideas, man.
Yeah.
If you want to do an above average black man,
put our pictures up there. Thank you guys.
That's what we gotta start doing. Everywhere we go, we gotta find a landmark, take a picture.
A landmark. Yeah. I mean, we could have did that. We were right next to one.
I didn't figure out what it was. That was pretty cool.
It was a point. It was just like something pointing out the ground.
What a point, man.
That's why it's called Prospect Point. But thank you guys. Hopefully you guys have out of this conversation, and We had a great trip that we wanted to kind of share and discuss with you guys, and yeah, we think it's important for everybody to get out there, travel, and experience life.
If you may want to consider Uber. They don't have Ubers down there. Driving on the left side of the road, man. Oh,
they only had taxis.
Yeah, they still got taxis.
Took me a while to get used to that. By the time I got with it, it was time to come home.
See, but that's another thing too. Not everywhere has Uber and Lyft, and it's probably you can't do it because 51% needs to be owned by somebody that is a Cayman national. Any business that you open down there, 51%.
But that makes sense because that's why Popeyes was the only chain we saw, and then
Popeyes,
Burger King. I didn't see it. Yeah, we did
Burger King and Domino's. Yeah, but it was only that's another thing. When you travel to other places, they only had
Burger King
like certain places.
You know what I'm saying? Why?
Domino's was actually right next to the Popeyes.
But when we were in San Juan, they were getting off the cruise ship, and that people from different countries, because the cruise ship has different. They went to Burger King.
Burger King is where it's at.
Well, not for everybody.
I mean, yeah. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Like I can't say it. I want to say because we're gonna get sued. But
that's the last thing that you would eat there. Oh my God, we're done.
So welcome to another episode of Above Average Black Men.
Hope you guys enjoy. Take care. Like, follow, subscribe. Follow us on all platforms. Share. Chat with us.
We will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Batman's gonna get you.